Alright, this is it. The grand finale of Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. I am... Oh, wait. It took me all the way back here. Unfortunate. I thought it was going to autosave me back at the pizzeria, but I guess it did not. This is it. This is the day where we will rescue Dad from the Yellow Rabbit and be free of the QuickTime event curse. I am actually looking forward to seeing how this ends. Whether it'll have the same ending as... or I guess, yeah. Seeing whether the normal ending is going to be the same ending as it is in the books. Or what ending we're even going to get, I don't know. When I go in there, I'm not sure if I'll come back out, but I guess I'm as ready as I'll ever be. I'm feeling like your chances are pretty good. I say you got a 71% chance of making it out. The animatronic characters here get a bit quirky at night. I like that. I approve. Go to the ball pit. Not like I was planning on going anywhere else. And I'll take your advice nonetheless. Jeff wasn't guarding the entrance today. Well, I guess guarding the entrance is probably the wrong way to phrase that, but... He wasn't in the... What? Why is it locked? Of all the times for Jeff to actually lock this door, I better hurry up and find him. I guess that's why he wasn't. Okay, well, if he wasn't out front... I'm gonna guess he's either in the storage or in security. Or I guess maybe the kitchen. And I had to cross through the kitchen or the party hallway to get to the storage and the security, so... Okay, no kitchen. Looking like a no to the party hallway. No to storage. Ah, there, he's playing solitaire, of course. What you doing there, Jeff? Working hard or hardly working, eh, Mac? What's it look like, kid? Working. What are you doing barging into my office? I need to get into the... I left my jacket in the room at the ball pit the other day. Can you let me in there? Ha! Nice try, kid. You're wearing the exact same jacket you wore when you went in. No, I'm not. This is my backup jacket. The other one has my wallet. I kind of need it to buy pizza. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty important. Here, take the key, but don't go playing around in that ball pit again. Jeff ain't exactly the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree, is he? I promise I'll stay out of there as soon as I'm done. Never want to see that thing again anyway. That gross, huh? You have no idea. Okay, well that... Whoa! Oh, so, okay, I was about to say, that seemed like a pointless detour. As have a lot of the fetch quests in this game, if I'm being perfectly... Oh, fucking kidding, really? I was gonna say it seemed like a pointless detour. Turns out the reason why they had us do that is so that they can jump scare you with the freaking yellow rabbit. And you were not that close to me a second ago, buddy! Okay, alright, that's cool, that's fine. That's alright, well, I'm just go. I don't know where I'm going, I'm just gonna run. I'm running for the vent down here. Oh, hi, hey, he's definitely way faster than he was in previous nights, and it's alright. Okay, see, this is why this game annoys me. Because he was definitely that close to me on previous nights. Actually, no, it's worse than that. Oswald, right, just now, Oswald wasn't fully inside the vent. Like, he very obviously was not all the way inside the vent. I don't even think he had begun to climb through. And yet, he still didn't catch me. Whereas, in previous nights, mainly when I was doing my run to play through the game again a second time, just to get that piece that we were missing, he was, like, way... Oswald was actually inside the vent, or maybe the vent door was, like, there was one pixel level that wasn't fully closed. And yet, somehow, I still died, so... It just frustrates me, that's all. It just frustrates me. Anyway, where are we going today? No, I didn't. I keep making that mistake. Keep pressing F again when I come out here instead of just leaving. Okay. We've been to every room except the party room by this point. So I guess I'll go check there. I know we went to the party room when this all first started. That was where... at least I think the party room is where everything went bad. Let me out of here, you stupid rabbit. Hey, are you alright in there? I was locked in here by some strange rabbit. Can you find a way to get me out? I'll find something. I'm guessing we need a key card. But where would I find said key card? Security office, probably? I'm gonna walk. There's no need to rush. I don't know exactly where Mr. Rabbitman is. What? Well, guess I have my answer. I guess I have my answer. Of course, because my luck, they were both in that room. But actually, this works out in my favor, because if they were both in that room, that means they won't be in that room anymore, because they're going to chase me down, which means I should have a straight shot. Oh, okay, I guess only one of them is going to chase me down. That's fine. That's fine. Get in security. I need to find something. Okay, batteries, cool, whatever. Cameras aren't useful. I need a key card to open that door. Okay, well, let's try to do the jukes. Oh my god, that actually... Go through the door. How am I still alive? There's no reason in the world I should still be alive. Okay, let me try to get backstage with the vent back here. Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Yeah, I had a feeling Night 5 was gonna be insane with how unbelievably aggressive stupid rabbit was. I can't believe. Okay. There have been times previously where, like, he was way further away from me and he still somehow killed me. That time I was like, he was right up my ass and somehow the jukes still worked. Okay, at least I know I'm very far away from all the animatronics now, so I should have at least a little bit of leeway to check around for some things. Okay, nothing there. How about in the backstage area? Where'd all these things come from? Duh, classic rule of life. Don't ask questions you aren't prepared to handle the answer to. Looks like there's something shoved inside one of them. What is it? Okay. For some reason, there was a party room key card there. I would never have thought to look back here. I only ran here just to get as far away from the animatronics as possible, but I guess it worked out. I mean, I would have eventually checked the basement. The basement probably would have been my next guess, actually. I would not have thought to check backstage, though. Okay. Are we clear? I don't hear footsteps immediately around me, so I think we're clear. They're not ringing that bell. Okay, get in. Get it. Get in. Get in. Key. I need the... There. Party room key card. Go. Hey! Thank you. I thought I was done for. Before you get out of here, is this going to be the kid that doesn't run away the second I start trying to talk to you after we rescue you? Or is this going to be the one to break the chain? Have you seen him? No, I haven't seen anyone else, but I've been hearing weird noises coming through the vent in here. I definitely heard a man mumbling and snoring. Oh man, that's got to be him. I think you're clear to run straight to the exit. Just be careful. Okay, good luck. Turns out this will not be the one to break the chain. Okay. Before I go digging around, is there something over here I can grab? Nope, looks like nothing I can grab. Oh, I hear noises. Okay, time to, oh, wait. What's this, a photo? Looks like it's pretty scratched up. I got, where's, strange photo. An odd photo of two men inside of a strange office. Is this somewhere inside of Freddy's? Can I look at it? It's not, okay, it's not like the other ones where I can actually inspect it further, so that's meaningless to me. Cool that we have it, I guess, though. Oh, we found him! Dad, you're alive! Ah. And so is that guy. Hey there. How you doing? Can we can we get him out of here? Somebody's trying to get in. I better hide. Alright, hide in the vent. Hide in the vent. Always the best place to hide. Because all you gotta do is just swat some spiders away. Alright, not cool. No, you're taking him away again! Get back here! Great, the bear is out there. Yes, and so is your. Okay. Can we go somewhere in this vent? Can we try to cut him off? I don't know. I don't know where that door leads to. Maybe I go to the cameras. Let's run to this. Let's run to the security office. Or that's gonna happen. Okay, cool. That's fine. I just need to get to the camera so I can figure out what's going on. Get to the camera. Where is he? He's not there. I don't see anything there. I can't. We were just in the party hallway. Not by the entrance hall. Not in the arcade. None of these cameras are all that helpful. Okay, that got me absolutely nowhere. Okay, the only thing I can think is that we need to go to the ball pit, because this is purely an appeal to the adaptation argument, but in the book, the final confrontation in the book took place. Yup, that's what I thought! Save him! What are you doing, kid? Fight back! Not with okay, I guess I asked for that. I guess I had that one coming. I was hoping that maybe fighting back would involve more than just a quick time event, but you know, it's fine. Lame! Lame! Okay, they kept that the same. The rabbit hangs himself in the grand confrontation. The only reason I knew where to go was just because I read the book and I knew that the final battle took place. Which, by the way, none of this was all made up for the purpose of the game. In the book, Oswald just finds his dad laying at the bottom of the ball pit, whereas in this is a whole elaborate thing where he's kept in that back room and he had to rescue all the kids. It's definitely a much more fleshed out story. But I figure if nothing else, they would at least keep the final confrontation in the ball pit the same, which thankfully ended up being truthful. Okay, Dad. Oh my God, really? Another? we had to QTE our way in here. We had to QTE the rabbit, and then we had to QTE him to get him to wake back up again. What the heck is that thing? What happened, Oswald? So, I hid in the ball pit to play a prank on you, which I shouldn't. Okay, they kept that consistent with the way the book ends. You came to look for me and slipped on a ball. Just hit your head pretty hard when you fell. I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean for things to get so out of hand. I accept your apology, Oz. But you're right. You shouldn't have done it. Let's get out of here. You and I are beat up pretty good, Oz. What happened? You don't remember anything? Well, considering this massive lump on my noggin, no. Oh. I was mad at you for being late to pick me up. Again. So I decided to hide from you to make you feel as annoyed as I was. You slipped on a ball and got knocked out. I'm sorry. Oh, Oz. I'm the one who's sorry. Things haven't been fair to you at all lately, and it's up to me and your mom to keep you happy. I certainly haven't lived up to my end of the bargain ever since the mill closed, so I think it's time your mom and I talked about moving somewhere better. For all of us. Even Grandma. I'm sure there's industrial-grade bubble wrap out there just for her. Really? Really. Now let's get you patched up. Dad. By the way, I think I may be suspended from school. What? Okay. It's a nice ending. I'm happy with that ending. I'm sure that's not the true ending, of course. I'm sure there's a much more elaborate thing you gotta do with those arcade machines. That's usually been the case. Like, you know, in all the Steel Wool games, Security Breach had the Princess Quest arcade games, Help 1 and 2 has a Princess Quest arcade game. Pizzeria Simulator, to get the Lorekeeper ending, you had to progress to a certain point in the Fruity Maze, Midnight Motorist, and Security Puppet minigames. So I'm sure it all has to do with those arcade games. There might even be something. You know what? I should have tried to see if there was a game that I could play on the handheld console before I traded it off to Jet. I wonder if that would have had a secret for me to unlock. But yeah, I am satisfied with that ending. It definitely doesn't feel like the complete ending. But unlike, see, this is the problem I had with Ruin, is that all three endings were shit for various different reasons. But there was no. There was no ending that felt conclusive. It wasn't even a thing where, excuse me, sorry, where if you unlocked all the endings, then with pieces of information that you obtained from all of them, you could form a more cohesive picture overall. No, they all just sucked. They didn't tell you anything. They didn't show you anything. It was just... What was it? Ending 1 was Cassie falls down the elevator and dies. Ending 2 was Cassie runs up to a Freddy for the Fredbear cutout and dies. And then ending 3 was that the Mimic dies in an equally lame fashion. It all sucked. Whereas this is like, we got a nice reconciliation between Oswald and his father. I think even more so than what happened than the one we got in the book, honestly. So I'm happy with how that played out. And it's an ending that's like, yeah, if you could stop here and be fine, but it does kind of leave you begging, like, wanting to search for more, because I know there's probably so many more secrets left in this game that I haven't found. So yeah, good first ending to get. New music unlocked. It's cool. Ooh, post-credit scene? Huh? That kid better not have gotten hurt in there. Buddy, I wouldn't go in there if I were you. I don't think you're emotionally prepared for what you're about to disturb. Or, well, actually, that was a Freudian slip. I meant to say discover, but, yeah, that was the other part of why I didn't want you to go in there. Ah, see? 2 stars. Okay, so 1-star ending is probably you die horribly and you don't rescue your father. Or maybe you rescue... Because Oswald did say, like, I have a feeling I might not get out of here alive. So maybe ending 1, the 1-star ending, is you rescue Dad, but you don't get out. Or maybe neither of you get out, honestly. And then 3-star ending, I'm sure you have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops to do. So, yeah, I really thought Night 5 was going to be a lot more intensive than this. I didn't realize it was going to be I thought it would be the hardest night of all of them. I didn't realize it was going to be the easiest by a landslide. Oh well, I guess we'll give some overall thoughts on the game. It's good. It's, mechanically I find it annoying. I find it very annoying. Just because it was... The presentation of this game is phenomenal. I love the fluid animations. I love the style and of the graphics. I didn't think I would. The trailers really didn't win me over, but actually playing it, spectacular. Huge props to the art team. However, I think that is my biggest... Okay, no. I have 2 big points of praise. Big point of praise 1 is presentation. Big point of praise 2 is the actual story. I still think I prefer the book overall, because it's more compact. It feels like a much more focused narrative in the, I think, what, 70 pages or however long. That is not the right book. I grabbed the Freddy files by mistake. How long is this again? It's like 70... Okay, almost. It's 66 pages in total. I do think that this story works better as a compact little short story narrative, as a collection of a bigger group of short stories. I think that's the optimal way for the story to be told. But I do believe they did, even though they clearly restructured the story around a lot and they changed some things, and I tried to point out where I could, when I could, some of the big things they changed, they kept the spirit of the story intact. And I think this is probably the best possible way I could imagine them translating that story off the pages of the book into the game itself. Both in terms of how they communicate the characters' internal thought processes that would ordinarily be restricted only to the narration of a book, and also in terms of how they translated the actual events of the story, even if some things were moved around, some things were expedited, some things weren't there at all, some things were sped up. The spirit of it was intact, and that's ultimately the most important thing for an adaptation, is even if you don't get all the minute details correct, you maintained the heart and soul of the story that you were trying to adapt. And I think they did a bang-up job of that, genuinely. However, as a game to play, it's not... I wasn't that... I liked it at first, but the more I played it, the more it waned on me. The whole concept of swatting the spiders is just really silly. It's... The way the stealth works in this game, honestly, isn't that dissimilar from the way stealth works in the Bendy games. Specifically, Benny in the Dark Revival with how the Ink Demon works. It's like, you see the monster. You have to run to a hiding spot. And then the monster leaves. And there's no real consistency to, like, whether he actually catches you or not. Because I touched on this a little bit today. Like, there were times previously when I was playing where he'd be way further away and he'd still get me, even though today he was right on my ass and didn't get me. If he sees you crawl under a table, he will know you're there and he will think to check for you. But if he sees you crawl into a vent, which he definitely saw today, he won't check the vent for some weird reason. It's not like he can't open the vent, because I've definitely had it be almost closed and then he still grabbed it and killed me anyway. So that's really weird. I just don't... There's no skill involved in... The one really... I think day 3 was the really annoying one. Because that was the one when I was replaying the game where I would come out of the pit, come into the pizzeria in the 80s, and then he'd just be there in the dining area, which usually he would be to the left, which means I would be forced to run to the right, back into the backstage area, and I'd be forced to hide in that chest. And I'd stay there, I'd swat away the spiders with stupid QuickTime events, and then he'd leave, I'd wait like 10 seconds, I'd get out, and then I'd just slowly walk behind him until he turned into a door or whatever, and then I'd go past him to the vent by the entrance. It's like, there's no skill in that. There's no skill in, oh, the robot saw you, so you run to the nearest chest, and then you sit there, and you QuickTime event your way to victory. It's just annoying. It just drags the... Like, I'm not scared by it, I'm just annoyed by it because of how it drags the pace of the game down when you can't do anything from that. And there were scary moments. Like, there were legitimately creepy and disturbing moments, more so towards the beginning of the game, where you would see his eyes, like, you'd be walking by a door and you just see his eyes peering in at you. The shot in the car towards the very beginning of the game, where every time you passed under a tunnel, whose eyes you saw in the rearview mirror would change from your dad's to the rabbit's. That was a really cool touch. There were moments, really cool moments like that, vignettes I guess you could call them. Seeing the kid in the endoskeleton in the spring lock thing, that was terrifying. They were really good at doing that sometimes, but most of this game just felt like really, really cumbersome to try to navigate around. It just felt like every time I was trying to go anywhere, it was always everything was a massive obstacle that I had to overcome to get anything done. Trying to cross the pizzeria to go from one place to the other, if there was just... And also, it boils down to luck a lot of the time. Like, sometimes I won, not because I did anything particularly skillful, but just because, oh, this time the rabbit wasn't in your way. This time the rabbit was on the other side of the pizzeria. And then inversely, sometimes I get screwed over because, oh, you wanted to go somewhere? Too bad. The rabbit's just right there. He's just exactly where you want him to be. And that's not satisfying when you win just because, oh, you got lucky for where he spawned this time. That's really not satisfying. And, like, there was always an element of RNG in the FNAF games in terms of where the animatronics chose to move. But there was never... They would never spawn right next to your door. They would never spawn that close to you. It was just the route they took to move through the building. And because you were such a consistent element, they could get away with that because, like, there was never any risk of you roaming throughout the building, which would throw in another factor into the mix of trying to account for your route and the enemy routes. But here it is, and it's really, really annoying. And again, even just like disregarding the stealth / horror aspect of this game, a lot of what you actually had to do outside of that was just pointless fetch quests. Like, oh, you need to get into the principal's office, but you can't get in there because she lost the key, so you need to go into the classroom to get the key to go back into the principal's office. Or, oh, you need to distract Bonnie, so you need to go... That one really annoyed me. The actual act of playing the guitar, pretty cool. All I wanted to do was play my guitar and sing. But it's the fact that you have to trigger the guitar in order to be able to collect the guitar string at the mill, even if you know exactly what you have to collect. That was really stupid. And even the act itself of, you go in the backstage, you trigger the guitar, you go to the mill, you get a guitar string to go back in time to fix the guitar. And it's made even more annoying by the fact that you have to, like, there's no fast travel or anything, so you constantly have to run from one room to the next, jump in the ball pit. Like, it's, if you're at one end of the, so we were in the arcade when we found Bonnie. We had to run from the arcade all the way over to the backstage area where the ball pit was, then run from the ball pit all the way over to the entrance of the pizzeria in present time, And then from that point, we had to fast travel to the mill, get the guitar string, run back to the pizzeria, into the ball pit, then run back to the other side to where Bonnie originally was to free the kid. And it was just, it took so much more time than it really felt like it should have. It kind of felt like Turnabout Samurai in the first Ace Attorney game, where one of the big problems I have with the investigation sequences in Turnabout Samurai, I think it's especially in the second part of that investigation, there's the whole thing you gotta do. I mean, it's not so, there's a thing where it's like, Dee Vasquez won't talk to you unless you bring her the script. So you go to one place, you think the director has the script, but he doesn't. So then you have to go to Studio 1, and the script's there, and then she'll talk to you. And then, later on in the investigation, when you come back, you have to do this whole trading card thing, where it's like, Cody won't talk to you unless he gets an ultra rare card thing, and then you go to Penny, and Penny has that rare card unit. It's a whole thing, and you have to cross from one side of the studio to the other side of the studio like 5 times, and it's so time-consuming and cumbersome. And it's kind of the same thing here, as far as the fetch quests that we had to constantly do, that we just got on my nerves. The QTEs got on my nerves a lot. Like, I don't understand why the QTEs are here. Really, the only game that I think executes QuickTime events well is Until Dawn. And the reason why is because it doesn't feel superfluous. Because you have such little time to react, and it's a visceral, like, instantaneous reaction. If you miss a QuickTime event in that game, you are immediately punished for it. Instantaneously. And it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you engaged in the action. Whereas in this game, it's just like, oh, a big cinematic event is happening. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, I have to just mash F on the key to, like, resist the rabbit's grip on me. And it just felt really, really arbitrary. I guess I also don't mind it in some Sonic games. I say some because Sonic Unleashed has that stupid final boss where you have to mash the same button 50 times in a row to beat it. But when you're launched off a ramp or whatever, and then it gives you a quick sequence of events, or a quick sequence of buttons you have to push, like X, left B, RB, that kind of thing, and you have very little time to react, and it's a very specific sequence that you have to hit. Those things I'm okay with, kind of like a rhythm game, where it's like you must hit these keys in this order, and that's kind of what that is in Sonic games. There's nothing like that here. It's literally just mash F until he lets go. I just find that very, very boring and unsatisfying. The final boss of this was, I thought the final boss was going to be using a firecracker against him, but no, it was just a QuickTime event, like the Didact in Halo 4. The final boss of that game is literally press forward, throw a grenade, press forward, fire weapon, because those are the buttons you have to push to QuickTime event kill the Didact. And yeah, I don't want to harp on it too much, because again, there was a lot of good stuff here. A lot of good stuff. Clearly a lot of time and effort went into making this really faithful, making it really beautiful, making it really tense. The atmosphere of the pizzeria was absolutely spectacular as well. Big props to the atmosphere of the pizzeria in the 1980s. It's just the general stealth horror mechanics. I wasn't really feeling those. A big plus to the arcade games, though, that they created, much like Pizzeria Simulator, and a big reason why I like that game so much is because Scott took the time to create so many, like, fully realized arcade games, and the kind of stuff that you would find in a place like that. It's the same thing here, where you get to actually play the games. Of course, I mean, it's nothing super original. It's Frogger, it's Space Invaders, it's slide puzzles, it's Pac-Man, but they all have their own unique little twist to it. And Asteroids as well. And I mean, they're all still fun. They didn't have to put them in there, but they did. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Just, I guess overall, I have mixed feelings on it. I didn't hate it. I mean, there were parts where I was very frustrated. I definitely hated playing parts of this. But I didn't hate the full thing. I don't have strong, like, harsh negative feelings towards the game overall. But I don't have fiercely positive feelings toward it either. I wouldn't be opposed to more of this, though. I think I would not be opposed to Mega Cat Studios making another game adaptation of one of the Fazbear Fright stories. I know Scott was talking about wanting to do Fetch next. I don't know if I picked Fetch. I don't like... I don't know. I didn't love Fetch that much as a story. Like, I get that you couldn't do... I don't think you could do either of the other two ones in the first Fazbear Frights book, like Count the Ways and To Be Beautiful. Those, I don't think those really work that well as games. Fetch, I can see working as a game. I just don't know. I just don't personally like the story that much. Lonely Freddy, I'm flipping through the book right now, the second Fazbear Frights book. Lonely Freddy is one of my favorite Fazbear Frights stories, honestly, but I don't think that would work very well as a game either. I think that works perfectly well as a book, or as a short story, I think, to stay that way. But Out of Shock, the one where they have the plush trap toy and all the kids are trying to survive, that one I think could make it for a really, really good horror game. Really nice, short, sweet, to the point horror game in the style of this. I think that could work really well. But I'm certainly not opposed to more games of this style from this development studio. Yeah, oh, and I guess I can also talk about the soft lock. The reason I'm not really mentioning that in the summation of this is because I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty confident, like, again, to reiterate, I looked up every guide I could. Every guide said the same thing, which is that you need the handheld gaming console in order to get the firecrackers, and to get the handheld gaming console, you need to exchange your tickets at the voucher machine thing. But the only way to get that voucher to work is by acquiring the voucher validator in the classroom, a classroom that I couldn't access because they literally wouldn't let me into the school. So it felt like I was soft locked. By the time I'm recording this, that episode hasn't gone up yet, so I don't know if because I put out a call in that episode for people to tell me if there was something that I missed that I could have done to circumvent that. But regardless of whether that is actually a soft lock or not, wouldn't really like massively affect my feelings on the game, because that can be fixed. And that's also why I didn't ever report it with the feedback thing, because I'm still not 100% positive that actually is what it was. But this is by the way, another huge prop. I love that this is in the game. I love more games should do this. This should be like standard, I think. This is a fantastic feature. Yeah, that's how that's why I didn't really bring it up in the overall conclusion of the game as a whole, because I'm still not sure on that. If it is a soft lock, then it needs to be fixed pronto. But I don't think it was like, I mean, it was certainly a pain in the ass to have to replay the whole game, but I'm not that. I wouldn't say it drags the game down that much, even though you'd think it might. Oh, I also wasn't a big fan. I feel like, I mean, I get that this guy is the star of the show. He is the person who took over Dad's role in Oswald's life, so he should be the star. But I feel like if you were going to include the other animatronics, you could have given them more to do. Chica had the most to do, but Chica was just obnoxious. Bonnie was a throwaway thing with the guitar fetch quest. Freddy, it was even less important. You firecrackered him away, and I think there was one time in night 2 or whatever where he came through the door once, and that was it. Wasn't a huge fan of that overall. I felt like how little the other animatronics got to do. Bunch of alt music. Oh, there's a nightmare difficulty. Of course, it's a nightmare difficulty. I don't know why I would have. I don't know why I wouldn't have expected there to be a nightmare difficulty. Can I access that now? If I wanted to, could I play nightmare difficulty? Oh! Oh! Not only is there a nightmare difficulty, there's a terrifying difficulty. It can get more annoying than what I played through. What's nightmare difficulty? He just spawns on top of you every single night? That would be terrible. What's advanced? Ah, custom night. Well, sort of custom night. You can... Wait, what? Wait a minute. Did I'm gonna assume this wasn't here originally. Actually, no, hold on. I need to check this right now. Was this here when I first booted up the game? No, it was not. Okay. I was gonna say, because I feel like if this was here, I would have made some decided changes to what the difficulty looked like. Because this, by the way, is what I advocate for with difficulty settings. Is like, I really like that more and more games are starting to allow you to customize your difficulty down to the microscopic individual values of things to create a more tailored experience. Because what I'd love to do for something like Ori and the Will of the Wisps is just like customize boss health versus enemy health, because the enemy damage output, like the damage output of enemies in hard mode in Ori and the Will of the Wisps is obnoxious. But the bosses are actually really fun, and I find them kind of not boring to fight, but not as fun to fight on any difficulty that's not hard. But the rest of the game is just so annoying to play that it's not worth it. Just the bosses don't make it worth it overall. So I'd love to be able to change those specific things, or to solely adjust the AI level of an enemy without, like, to be able to boost the intelligence of an enemy without simultaneously boosting the strength, the damage output of their attacks, or the amount of health they have, that kind of thing. So I like that this is in the game. However, I kind of feel like this should have been, like, I don't know why. I would prefer that these types of options are available just from the start. Like quality of life things, increasing difficulty of things, checkpoint frequency. I would have appreciated more of those. Battery quality. I never had to change. That's the other thing. I never had to change it. I wasn't even playing on easy mode. I was playing on the normal difficulty, or at least the highest difficulty I could have selected, and I never had to change my battery power even once. So that was kind of strange. Also, it takes a while for it to actually grab onto the scroll bar here. Yeah, this is good. This will be another point in the game's favor, is bonus difficulty settings, and then a whole customizable thing right here. Big props for that. And yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. I wouldn't say I was disappointed, because I didn't really have any expectations going in. I'd say it was, maybe it kind of balances out, because, like, there was a lot of stuff that impressed me way more than I expected it to. But also, there were a lot of things that I was kind of unhappy with. One more thing that's kind of a double-edged sword, actually. And I guess that might be the perfect note to end on, because it so accurately represents my overall feeling. It's a perfect microcosm for my overall feelings in the game. The fact that it is 2D side-scroller, and you can't, your field of vision is limited because you, like, in a security breach or something, like, in a game where you have the ability to look around wherever you want at any given time, you can look in front of you, quickly turn behind you, and see if there's an animatronic there. Whereas here, you can only see what's on the screen, and you can't quickly look. You can turn your character left or right, but that doesn't change what you actually see. So there is that lingering sense of dread of, like, if you go too far, will there be an animatronic waiting there? And I like the terror that creates, but also it can be kind of bullshit, because, like, if even one pixel of a robot is on the screen, like, if I walk left and the tip of Chica's nose or Chica's beak appears on the screen, she'll immediately scream at me. Even though I can't fully see her yet, she'll immediately scream at me and sound the alarm. And that I find to be kind of unfair. But yeah, I guess that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me play Into the Pit. I'm looking forward to seeing, because I think the general consensus on this game is that it's very good overall. I do wonder how much of that is tainted by the fact that the thing that released immediately before this during the anniversary week was 5 Laps at Freddy's, which was just absolutely dreadful in every conceivable way. But yeah, I feel like people really like this game a lot, so I'm interested in seeing what the general consensus is and how people feel about it in the comments below. Beyond that, I'm going to leave things here for now. This is just the beginning, by the way, of spooky games we're going to check out here in the month of October. Got a lot more spooky stuff lined up for the rest of the month that hopefully you guys will enjoy. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and I hope to catch you all soon for whatever it is you decide to watch next. Goodbye.